Well, hello, all of you string picking guys and gals out there. Welcome back to Obscene Studios, a place where surgery is becoming a real popular thing for me on guitars. Today is part 2 of the Schecter pickup replacement. The Schecter being the C7 that belongs to a friend of mine, Brandon. In the last video, you've seen that we cleaned up the fretboard a little bit and done a little bit of cleaning inspection on the wiring cavity. Looking at it, make sure there was no broken solder joints. There is some things I want to do in there to the toggle switch. Seems to be cutting out in the neck position just a little bit, but that is a style of toggle switch that I've dealt with before, and I think that's going to be a pretty easy fix. Today, it's time. Bad as I hate to say it. We have made our little paper template. And I did this off camera because I wasn't 100% sure that this was going to work. So what I did was I got the measurements of the new pickups, and basically to do this, I just taped a piece of paper over the top of the existing routed out holes for the pickups in the neck pocket, and just took a pencil and scribbled across it. And what that does is that gives you, every time you hit the outline of where the pickup cavity is and the neck pocket is, it makes a line. So once I done that, I got the new pickups out, placed where they were supposed to be, done the measurements, marked off, and then now I've got to make a template, a wooden template that's going to go over the top of this, and it's going to allow me to route out these holes without getting too far out. Or if any of you ever used a router, you know what I'm talking about. But basically what we're going to do is I'm going to put that on a thin piece of 3/8 plywood, and we're going to cut out those holes in the plywood. And then once we get that done, we're going to go over this right here, put it on this guitar, and then we're going to take our router and we're going to set it down on top, and we are going to slowly and very carefully route these pickup cavities out to where these new pickups will fit in. This, I did allow for a millimeter of room. So when I put this paper over the pickup, the paper goes easily over, and it leaves just a bit of a gap here and there. And it's going to allow for that pickup to set down into that hole and look somewhat uniform. So, ladies and gentlemen, bad as I hate to do it, I really do, today may be the day that we start butchering this butchering this guitar. I hate to do this because I'm just, it bothers me so much to have to cut on somebody else's guitar. But he did give me the go ahead. He told me if I thought that I couldn't do it, just to let him know that we would back up and punt. It's not a problem of not being able to do it, because I am able to do it. I have the tools to do it with. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is that is not my guitar, and it scares me. Uh, but like I said last video, we have confidence. We have confidence that we are going to make this right, that this is going to turn out okay, and this is going to be a good deal. And we can get these new pickups in here, get them fitted just right, and we can make this guitar just something I've never seen before in my life. A 7-string guitar with 8-string pickups, especially as hot as these pickups are. So let's go ahead and we'll get outside and we'll start taking care of this and seeing what we can do about it. Okay, guys, we are outside. It's just a little bit breezy. That's why you see the little thing up here. And we have this cut out. Well, we got it drilled out, ready to be cut out. Let me bring you in so you can see better. Here's the neck pocket. We're going to take that out. We're going to take this out here and this out here. And then we're going to dress up the edges a little bit so everything looks copacetic. So I've got the skill saw, or not skill saw, the jigsaw. By the way, welcome to my back porch. It's a mess. And we're going to cut these out. I got some blades a few minutes ago, because this was the blade that I had, and that is way too coarse of a cut. So I had to run and get some more blades. It's a bit windy. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but it's a little rough out here. I'll tell you this, you never know. Jigsaw is one of those things, you don't know you have to have it until you have it, and then you don't know how much you don't use it until you don't use it. And that's the thing with this one, is it rarely ever gets used, and I'll probably never be asked to do this again to another guitar. Hopefully I don't, because it's nerve-wracking enough. But we're going to do it. We're going to take care of this and see if we can't get this thing took care of. So, Kara girl, what are you doing? It's my dog Caramel, by the way. She's a sweet girl. She watches over the place for us. If I'm outside, she's outside. She's got to be out with me everywhere I go. Pretty famous in our town. Everybody knows Kara, all the drive-throughs and stuff. Now, in case you didn't know, once all the measuring and stuff was done, I drilled holes in every corner so I'd have a place to start the jigsaw blade to go around and make the cutouts. I'm sure there's better ways to do this, maybe a scroll saw or something, but this is the way I do it, and it always seems to work. So I didn't realize it at the time, but while I was cutting this board, I'd made a fatal mistake of putting a very small jigsaw blade into the saw. 3/8 MDF board gets extremely hot while cutting, causing my edges to be all warped and out of whack. Later to realize that using a Dremel was not going to help. And there we go. We got our template cut out. Now we are going to get our Dremel and we're going to dress up some of these edges, because jigsaws actually butcher the crap out of these things. So we're going to work a little bit on that and make sure everything is going to be all right for when we start the routing process. Had to cut out a new one of these because the other one, the holes were so out of square, it would have been too much to fix with a Dremel. And these will still have to be dressed somewhat, but hopefully not that much. This one especially, it's got a close spot on it, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to do a trick that I picked up off of another YouTuber, because I sure didn't have a table to clamp this down with, and I didn't want to have to go through making a table that would clamp this down to keep, if you're wondering what I'm doing, that's just to keep the dust out. So followed a YouTuber that basically, he says some painter's tape, to square off all of this right here. Make sure that you leave it long enough for afterwards when you peel it up. And the reason why we use painter's tape is we don't want to pull up any paint or clear coat off of the guitar once we're finished. I'm glad that Brandon is going to see his guitar before he sees the video, because he's probably watching this like, holy crap, what is he doing to my guitar? But this is the single best way I found to do this. I was going to use the neck screws and go through here and hold it down on that end, but that left me with, what am I going to hold it down on this end? So that's the reason why we have the tape out here. So we are going to now go on the back side of this, and we're going to tape around these holes. I'm sure to a lot of you this is probably going to be boring, but this is the absolute best way I know how to do this out of lots of videos that I have seen. You know, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, like I said in the past, if I would just do this on my guitar, but doing it on someone else's guitar has driven me to find a better way to do it that's less invasive on the guitar itself, because we don't want to take away more than what we're actually going to route out. So that's the whole purpose of doing it this way, is so that we can only take out what is needed, dress it up, and then the pickup should slide right down into it without the need for any kind of beauty rings around the pickup. Now, here goes nothing. Okay, In comes the Loctite. Let's all bow our heads and say a little prayer for me. I'm praying that this will work. This is going to give me a small window to adjust, uh, a very small window to adjust before this dries. This is just Loctite super glue. That's all that this is. All it's going to do is hold this into place, and we're going to let it dry. This way, this allows for some wiggle room before it sets. Okay, and that's perfect right there. Just going to hold it down for a few minutes. This stuff is pretty stout, but if you'll notice, I have tape on the outside that when I lift it up, I can just peel the tape and the board and everything off. And then this template will be done. But after we get it routed, of course. Yeah, it's already stuck. It is already stuck. Okay, so we're going to let that cure, and then we'll come back and I'm going to take the back off, and I'm going to pull the neck pickup wire through and label it neck, and the bridge pickup wire through, label it bridge. And then we're going to go through and route all of this out, all of the unwanted meaty parts in here. And once we're done, I have got, I think I've got some sponge back there that we can put on this. And if I'm not mistaken, no, they're not going to line up. I'll have to make new screw holes for those pickups. But we're going to put, I've got some sponge that we're going to put on the back of this. Once we get that sponge on there to where it's not rattling against the body or anything, and we're going to wire this bad boy up, and she'll be ready to go. I think it's going to look good. Plus, we're going to go in and also paint the inside of these cavities, because all of that, except for the bottom, I don't think I may go to the bottom and route out, get as close to the bottom as I can, because it's only going to leave about 4 millimeters sticking up out of the body once I set these down in there. That's the whole reason for the sponge or the foam back here, is so that it will raise the pickup up just a little bit, give it some cushion so you can bring it up or down as needed under the strings. So, okay, well, let's let this cure, and we'll be back. And for me, for a little while, for you, just a few seconds. Okay, two reasons I'm doing another voiceover in this video. Number one, this router is extremely loud on the camera mic. Number two, I just had to give thanks to my beautiful, loving wife who came out and helped me. Got a little mat that is a no slip to go under the guitar so that I wouldn't damage it in any way on the back side. And she was holding it for me the whole time so that we could get good clean cuts. So thank you, honey. I love you. Huh, it turned out better than I thought.
Here, I got stuff for them.
I'm sorry. I meant to tell you, you have to look away.
Some of them clothes. I'll have to change clothes.
Oh, you ain't gonna have change. Turn that on. Okay. All right. Now, yeah, but I'm going to do this, and then I want to bring it over here. And what I'm doing right here is I'm going back over where I had routed out already. I'm using a 1/4 inch bit on this router, and the problem with the 1/4 inch bit is it's so thin, it leaves tight rounded corners, but it gets hot pretty easily. So I have to somewhat go slow, and then I vacuum everything out and make sure that I get as much material out of the pickup pockets as possible. I can't believe that this actually turned out the way it did. You'll see my reaction momentarily.
You done with me?
Yeah.
I'm going in here right
Oh, looky here, looky here. Who's the man? Oh, folks, I cannot express to you the stress level that I went through to get this done. I can't express it. I'm sorry. Uh, like I said, on my guitar, fine. I do not care on my guitar. If I mess it up, I mess it up. Because let's face it, the only time that you're going to route out on a body is just from upgrading it. The only reason why you're going to upgrade it is because you're not happy with it anymore. And this thing is was just an absolute nightmare. But check this out. That ain't gonna fit because of the wire. Well, I'll set it down in there like that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got just a couple little places that I can pop out with a screwdriver that I missed. But man, I was so worried about the edges. I was so worried that the edges wouldn't be clean, and they turned out perfect. Perfect. All right. That's the end of part 2. Part 3 is going to be a reassemble. We're going to put her back together. I'm going to go ahead and just paint the inside of these cavities, knock the little burrs out that are down in there. We're going to put it back together. We're going to solder the pickups in, get the neck back on it, get everything back and ready to go. But as of right now, I can't express how that is a thing of beauty to me. I just can't. I can't believe it. You guys would have to know my luck. You would have to know what kind of luck I have to understand that this was the most nerve-wracking thing I've done in a long time. But it turned out perfect. Turned out absolutely perfect. So thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you for joining me on this journey. This is part 2. Part 3 will be the finale. Part 3, we will have it put together. There'll be a sound demo. We'll do a little bit of playthrough. And I think part 4 may be him coming back and playing on it and seeing his reaction to his new Schecter that used to be a C7, that's still a C7 but with C8 pickups. So yeah, thanks guys. As always, may you have the most blessed day ever. God be with you all. Later.